What's up, dog? I'm gonna touch on a couple things. You know what I'm saying? Go up here. Blow this little shit. Nice night. Yes, a nigga Guap showing y'all what the record business really like, huh? I was thinking he was. You think Walt made that call, man? You think that nigga would have got rid of all this money like that if it was up to him? Think about it. You think he'd have got rid of all his money if it was up to him? Come on, man, think about it. I got to be more smart, man, more careful. Don't believe everything. But I'm gonna explain to y'all two instances of what's going on in this music business right now. They fuck themselves. And I'm gonna tell you why. And they really fuck themselves in the United States. They didn't even really fuck themselves over because overseas they still selling. It's just here. And it all started from Napster. Y'all don't know what Napster is? Napster was a service where you can bootleg music. He was the first motherfucker you was able to bootleg a record from. The fucking MP3 file. Not the CD, MP3 file. And when they first started doing it, they jumped on them, sued them for it. Then turned around and used their method, which gave birth to streaming. So they thought, okay, we paying out a lot of money with these physical copies, with niggas going gold, 250,000, 500,000, a million, and plus go on per record. You gotta think. CDs was $12, $13, $14, $15. It's costing them about $4 or $5 to make. But they was keeping a majority of that. That's why Michael Jackson had one of the best publishing contracts back then. He was getting like 5 cents on the record. See, it wasn't determined off of the streams back then. It was determined off the record. So Mike had one of the best deals. He might have been getting 50 cents, 25 cents off of every CD that was sold. Now you do that, and they shipping thousands and hundreds and millions of copies to record moms and pop stores around the countries, selling these records at $15 a pop. Now you get an artist that maybe go platinum, which is 1,000,000 copies, times 15, you do the math. So they were seeing crazy money. Then you have regions like New York where I just seen on a podcast with Bun B, he was talking to another dude. Dude can't be that old. Dude got to be young. I don't even know why Bun B was even talking to him, because he said the dumbest shit I ever heard in his life. Like, New York artists had to go out of town and get on somewhere else. He don't even understand the culture of New York, so he couldn't benefit from New York, because everybody knows you can go platinum in New York alone. See what I'm saying? Alone. DMX did that. That's why he dropped 2 albums in 1 year. He figured out he can go platinum alone in New York, and he just ran it up. The population of New York is so goddamn big. It's ain't that big, but you got fucking 7 to 10 million people in 5 boroughs. Then you got Buffalo, and then you got other parts of New York. You know what I'm saying? Rochester and all that. You know what I'm saying? The city of New York is just the city. Then you got other parts to it. So you used to be able to go platinum in New York alone. Motherfuckers selling 1,000,000 copies in New York alone. That's why they made it an East Coast, West Coast war, because you can go platinum on the East Coast alone, and you can go platinum on the West Coast alone. Why you think Biggie went platinum? Big Ready to Die didn't go platinum. Life After Death went platinum. It went platinum after he died, yeah. But when he first dropped it, it didn't go platinum. Now he sold like 250,000. That's why Pac said they barely touching a million. I've been out for 5 months and sold 5 million. See what I'm saying? It was a whole different genre back then. Wasn't no such thing as no smaller record company doing a deal with a bigger record company to broker the artist through the bigger record company and just use the street credibility of the small record company to promote the artist so the bigger label can get all the money. There was no such thing as that. First introduction to that shit was No Limit. Then you had Rap A Lot. Then you had, and that's where they came with. That's why they tried to start their own distribution company behind the same situation that Gucci just did. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link. Like right now, this whole thing that's going on with people stealing other people's content on YouTube. So letting other people's videos run while you give concepts and opinions on it, they striking niggas' channels for that. So I'm gonna put a link at the bottom in the comments of this video, and you can go hit the link and watch the documentary. It is, and it show you who really was behind the start of the music business. It wasn't us. It was the Italians. Okay? And if you go into the Italians, you know who I'm talking about. They were in charge of the music business because they had the money. You got to remember, if they brought us from another country, continent, to here, we didn't have the money. We had the talent. They had the money. We were the entertainment. We sold the tickets. We was the sideshows. You feel what I'm saying? So we didn't have the money. We never had the money. Goes back to what's going on with him. He didn't drop these artists. His label did. Called him and said, look, we lost this much money on this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We are no longer giving you a budget for these artists anymore. So you know what he did? He called him and said, y'all got to go. That was them telling him, we're dropping them. Now, we still got a chance with him, and one of them already moving around them their solo on his own. They trying to sign him on his own. Okay? They're trying to eliminate the middleman artists, the middleman record companies now. That's what the majors are trying to do. They're going to act like the middleman art, the middleman record labels now. Okay? They're pulling the fundings from them. Okay? That's why if you go look at Gunna's new tape, it's under Rockstar Records. It's not under YSL no more. He doing a deal directly with 300 with him. That's what they're doing now. They're going to the artist, doing a direct deal directly with the artist. They're cutting out the middleman record company, which is the CMGs, the fucking 1017s, the QCs, the if you ain't got a fucking artist on your fucking roster or your record company that's gonna put a fucking 80 bodies into a fucking stadium, they're not even keeping it. They can do a direct deal with the artist now through a company like 300, who the president of another company, you know what I'm saying, that's a major, and they ain't got to get a side money to the fucking side artist no more. They're eliminating that. That's why they're getting rid of all the motherfucking, that's why they're getting all them executives. They're all quitting. Because they're getting rid of the in-between. They're getting rid of it. What they did was, instead of us as, well, I'm a record owner, so this is why I'm telling y'all this. Everybody don't know this information, but I own my own record company. You know what I'm saying? I sell my own music also, so I know what's going on. The majors are saying to record companies, smaller record companies like mine, we're pulling y'all funding. You already brokered a deal with us through your artists. That's why I never took my artists. I never did that to my artists because it's really artists. It's really torturous interference. But I'm allowing it. I'm allowing to say, I sign you. I'm going to take you into this company and going to get you a bigger deal. Now, you're going to ask yourself, well, if you got any logic, I thought you just gave me a deal. Why am I going to meet with them? But they're not doing that. So now your son, the Rich the Kid, just did it. He said he just had to buy himself out of 3 companies. But he was really signed to QC. Why? Because QC was getting the bag through Warner Brothers. See what I'm saying? Or Atlantic, or whatever major it was. You know what I'm saying? And they were giving him the bag to go out and sign an artist. You see what I'm saying? And then they get a cut off of everything the artists sell, but he's not directly signed to us. He's signed to the major. So if the major said, we're not giving you the funding to put behind this artist, we just don't feel he's moving, they're not going to go in their pocket and do it themselves. Why do you think QC sold it? They sold the majority stock of QC to a fucking X-Pop group, motherfucker, who own them. With Scooter Braun. Same dude that was the manager of Taylor Swift. What'd he do? He gets the call. Taylor's motherfucking masters is coming up to be sold, to be bought back. He's her manager. Instead of him going to Taylor and say, hey, Taylor, how much money you got? No masters up for sale. We can buy them back. He turns around, buys her masters, and sells them. This is her manager. Sells her fucking masters. But she had her last laugh. She got the last laugh because she went back and recorded every one of those fucking records again. And they sold even more this time. And now she owned every piece of the publishing of these ones. So those ones are fucking useless. Yeah, them is her first ones. They hold stock value, but she just made that whole album fucking again. The music business is forever. That's why the main company, they got a branch. They always got a branch in LA, and they always got a branch in California. But the parent branch, the is overseas. That's all of them. They're in Europe. Okay? They're in Europe. That's where they still sell physical copies. In Europe. Okay? United States, they said once the streaming came in, we can cut the cost on manufacturing the goddamn hard copies, which was the CDs, the vinyls, and the tapes. Cut down the cost of making them. Push the music through streaming. What they found out was streaming wasn't making no fucking money because to sell one record on a stream, you need 2,600 sales. You need 2,600 streams to sell one record. So, do 1 million streams really look that much when you got to sell 2,600 of them motherfuckers to make one record sale? But you need 1 million record sales to go platinum. Then you need down there 1 trillion streams, right? We ain't talking about no single. We said an album. That means every one of those songs has to get streamed individually on that record for that album to go platinum. That's why niggas' albums ain't going platinum no more. That's why they're shortening the album. They're not 12, 13 track albums no more. Because it's not like putting a CD in at one time and then one CD sale is the whole album. It's like that. It streams. But each individual song could get streamed too. So they were losing money. So overall, the profit margin just wasn't adding up. Then you had motherfuckers getting fake streams. Then they had the thing where you got, now they got the thing on there, where you got to stream, you got to have over 1,000 streams or some shit on all the records or something, or they can not upload them, or they can say you're physically manipulating the streams. Basically, you're buying them because motherfuckers start getting caught with them streaming farms. It's a whole fucking room full of computers and cell phones streaming the record over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? And that's just what it is right now. So don't let the looks deceive you, man. There's still a lot of money in the record companies. It's just the biggest thing to do is to sell overseas. But a lot of these artists can't go overseas. They got felonies. They in the streets. They fucking with this drill music. Now this drill music is like a quick flip to them. They get an artist, build him up, boom, boom, boom. He making this killing music. He in the streets doing the shit he's rapping about. He's gonna offer him. Now we just pick up the money on the insurance. Then he signed a fucked up deal. So when his family come asking about the money, hey, this the contract he signed. We own everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I was not guap called. Believe that. I own record. I own artists. I don't own artists. They're signed to me though. You know what I'm saying? I manage them. Put it like that. They're employees. But in the aspect of, and I didn't even sign none of my artists to 360 deals. None of them. Nope. So if they sell, they will get paid the same well as it was back then. They're signing. Some of them got different contracts than others, but none of them are 360. And they told us at the CEO meeting, use 360 deals. Because there's no way that an artist, if you sign him for 5 years, you sign him for 3 years and 5 albums, and you invest 2-3 million, you're not going to get that back in value with him. Unless you got a fucking goose egg. Because it's going to cost you, every project is going to cost you more. So you might look up and be $20 million, $30 million in debt with this one artist. And he might only be pulling in $1 million a year. But you got 5 projects of this motherfucker out. You got videos. That's why they take all the way down to your YouTube channel. If you wanted to see who a motherfucker signed to, when you watch them videos and say more, hit the more button. It's gonna pop up who he signed to, who owns the rights to the music, who wrote the music, all the way down. With the credits on the song, who owns the song, all that. All you gotta do is hit more. Then y'all see if I'm telling the truth or not. Same thing with Puff. Why you think Puff would have got rid of Bad Boy Records? What happened was Puff owned all the publishing and the gig was up. So niggas wasn't running to sign a Bad Boy no more because why? He wasn't paying. Puff wanted to own it all. So he turned, and by him, after dude died, he stepped in the forefront, became his own motherfucking artist. So he was his own artist on his own fucking label. That's why him and Drake got into it about the record. Why? Because the verse that he had Drake's ghostwrite for him, he didn't like the motherfucker. So he scrapped the whole project. Drake took the fucking took the beat, and came out with it on his own. Right? So what the record companies do? Pulled his funding. Sold the company. He wasn't even, Puffy was, and then, so then he started producing. You know what I'm saying? So then he started producing. He produced, shit, Victory Lap for Nipsey. And that's a fact. And he said, I was pissed about that, because Nipsey got nominated for a Grammy. Nipsey got nominated and won a Grammy, and I produced that album. I executive produced that album, and he did. And he did. Yes, he did. That's a fact. Because he had to deal with Atlantic. Puff had to deal with Atlantic. So, so when Nip got to deal with Puma and the All Money In brand got picked up through Atlantic, when it was time to make Victory Lap, they paired him up with Puff. Boom. He linked up with Hov because he tapped in and bought the motherfucking, bought 100 copies of the Crenshaw mixtape, so he already had a lightweight relationship with him. So boom, now you fucking with Puff, you gonna rub shoulders with Jay. Jay come in, boom, 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 hit him with the Puma deal. That's how you get the Puma deal. Boom, now he locked in. Feel what I'm saying? He just was tied to something that was bigger than the industry. Far as what this made up of. We ain't talking about money. We talking about the power and the influence. He was tied to something else. And yeah, he shined a light on him. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But they wasn't gonna let that, they wasn't gonna let him. He would have had to bring every motherfucking body from his section. That's just what it was. Or he would have had to leave. There was no way. He would have had to bring everybody from his section. And that go for everybody that's tied to something like that, including myself. You got to bring every motherfucking body or you got to go. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody bigger than the program. That's why when the Crips LLC tried to sue the Marathon, they also sued Jay. Facts. Jay-Z got pulled in court for that shit too. Yeah. That's why they settled out. Because Jay got pulled in that shit too because why he signed Victory Lap. I mean, he signed the Marathon. He had to deal with the Marathon brand. You know what I'm saying? So when they got sued, he got sued too. That's how it worked. So they use motherfuckers like Puff. When you go how Nip did, boom, okay, you was already in the industry, you was already around the deal already before, boom, okay, so we're going to put you around Puff, we're going to put you around the producers, boom, 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 we're going to get this album made, and that Victory Lap is the bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's why Puff on the album. Twice. Puff on that bitch twice. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't come at Nip like that. He ain't come at Nip like that. He couldn't. He couldn't come at Nip like that. He knew what he was tied to. So he respected that. You know what I'm saying? He respected that. So he ain't come at Nip like that. But yeah, was he working? Yeah. Yeah, he produced that album. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Nip homeboys weren't going to go for that. He was in the studio with his homeboys all the time. I don't give a fuck where he was at. They wasn't going for that shit. So he wasn't going to be able to get that shit off. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't going to happen. And he was more with Jay than with Puff. Yeah, Puff helped on the album, but Nip was more with Jay and how Jay moved and the path Jay had took to get to where he was at. He was on that same alignment. So it was different. You know what I'm saying? Jay tried the shit with Meek, but Meek strayed away from Jay and went with Puff. That's why Ross say, shit, I let them rap niggas get closer to Meek. You know what I'm saying? Because Ross had him. He should have just stayed with Ricky. You know what I'm saying? Because Homeboy, who just came out with that shit, with that record down there right now that's popping, Nino Breeze, he ain't playing. He's saying, I'm the new face of MMG. You see what I'm saying? And Ross ain't got no deal with nobody, with Atlantic or Interscope or nothing like that. Ross is putting dude out directly up under his label. See what I'm saying? He ain't even take him to nobody. That's directly up under him. Now, that's some savage shit because now, unless they step in, Ross funding all that shit on his own. Distribution, the marketing, the promotion, the campaigning, the touring. He doing all that shit on his own. Usually, it's the majors to do that shit. They just need the smaller labels to give you the street cred for the promotional wise. Tap you in with the street artists, but you signed to a major for real. Under a 360 deal, you was a fucking slave. You might as well change your name and walk away. Change your name like Prince did, walk away and start making music under another fucking name because you will never own your fucking record. You will never own your fucking catalog. And if I'm lying, then why you think all these artists is getting their catalogs back is selling them? Come on, man. I better lose y'all head. Fuck you think Future just sold his shit for? Eve just sold her shit. Come on, man. Fuck you think they selling their catalogs for? That can be left to their kids. They selling that shit. Our catalog is getting left to my kids. It's in my will. Whether they sell one record or 1,000, one record or 1 million, it's getting left to my kids. My record company and my clothing company get left to my kids. These motherfuckers selling their motherfucking records. They catalogs. Selling them bitches. Why? Nigga, they ain't running around here in the streets. The ones is, they can't do that no more. So they got to get it however they got to get it. So if they got to sell their catalog, if them niggas got to do bar mitzvahs, them niggas got to whatever. Them niggas is doing it. You know what I'm saying? They just had, who was that, little baby? Somebody just did a bar mitzvah. Come on, dude. They fucked the rap game up killing CDs, man. The music don't sound the same. Oh, that's why that's where the AI come in at. They don't even need an artist no more, man. Once they got your vocals, and if you sign, let me tell you how cold-blooded these motherfuckers is, right? Once they got your vocals, right, in a recording database, right, like Harry Fox and all them, right? If y'all know what that, if y'all fuck with the music, you know what I'm talking about. They don't even need your fucking voice. They don't even need you. All they gotta do is put your name, your recorded name that you record your music under, inside the AI machine, and it can recreate your own voice. They can make a brand new record of yours. You know why? Because your vocals is owned by them. So every time the motherfuckers say, hey, all right, check the mic, check the levels, you be like, yo, this shit is recorded. It's over with, man. They don't even need us no more, for real. You don't know what the real is or what the fake is. Be careful out here, man. I never seen, well, you know, it was boxing. But I never seen so many dudes, man, so enticed by a motherfucker who got, and they talking about fighting each other. Like, that Sauce Walker and Go Yayo shit is so funny because they talking about fighting each other. That's it. They ain't even talking about playing with no guns. They talking about fighting each other. Now they reaching and grabbing for something else. Just like, I'm gonna tell you what else is fucked up. Everybody that took a picture with Puffy, they looking at. Man, stop that bullshit, man. Let me tell you something, man. That shit don't change, man. I did 12 and a half years, man. That shit don't change, man. You know what I'm saying? They know everybody that's involved in that type of lifestyle, man. You understand me? They know everybody that's involved in that type of lifestyle. They know who is and who ain't. They know who to call and who don't. That's just like you on the yard, some shit come up with you and one of them chumps, nigga. 9 times out of 10 it's true, because they ain't gonna lie. It's one thing motherfuckers know. If you playing in that motherfucking world with them, they ain't gonna lie. They not gonna put no nigga out here just for like, nah, nigga, that ain't what it is. Unless you fuck around in that lane, man. You know what I'm saying? So everybody took a picture with this nigga ain't got to be on that shit, man. That nigga knew who to call, man. That's why I was so secretive. If it was so secretive, if everybody knew, how the fuck was it so secretive then? Yeah, you had motherfuckers talking about it because it was motherfuckers that was there, but don't get it fucked up. That's a certain club, nigga. Flat out. Ain't nothing else around that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's been in the music industry. It's been in the film industry. It's been in the entertainment industry. Romans did it when they fought them wars. We gone 4 or 5 years, nigga, with no women. That's why they used to rape the women in the villages, because them niggas was at war for like 5 years. Fuck what you talking about? Then nothing long. They ain't fighting with guns. They cutting each other's heads off with swords and sawing at each other and shit. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, same savagery the Romans was on. Same shit. You know what I mean? When you fuck with that music and you create that sound, you create them radio waves. That's why I be selective now with some of the shit I'm saying, because I know you can talk that shit into existence, straight up. You know what I'm saying? All these little niggas running around here dead, they never coming back, man. They talking about Vaughn so much, man. I be like, damn, I feel sorry for little homie, man. He lost his life, man. Trying to fight. But he ain't understand. At that level, he was a boss. He should, at that level, he was a boss. He wasn't even supposed to get touched in that truck. If it was going to be handled, it was going to be handled. He wasn't supposed to be around it. Period. But they kids. And they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't never supposed to be touched. Wasn't nobody supposed to go get nothing. Nobody out, no trucks, leave him alone. We gonna handle it, we gonna handle it without him. Because guess what? He was out on paper, he was out fighting the case any motherfucking way. So all that shit would have violated his little ass. You know what I mean? He lost 2 homeboys, he get hit. He lose 3 homeboys because the 2 other ones died. One of them get hit. Bad situation. When all they could have did, they could have did all that shit and left him alone. Man, there's so many of these little boys gone, rap boys gone, man. Little nigga Fulio, gone. His man, you know, he a kid. He, what, 18, 19 years old. He ain't seasoned enough to know we can't go towards the fucking shots, bro. This bitch ain't bulletproof. We can't go towards them motherfuckers. We gotta go back that way. So they get the hit and he pulls towards them. He ain't that's why he got hit. Like he got hit and Fulio down. That's why he tried to jump in the back seat. Them motherfuckers, them bullets was too fucking close. So he was trying to get some cover. Cause his man went forward and ran the curve over, fucked the axle up. When he was supposed to hit, when they got the hit and he was straight like that, whip that bitch to the left. Get the fuck up out of here. Go back the opposite way. But they ain't been in nothing like that. To even know, like, yo, he ain't even moving around like this. He somewhere else put up. If he couldn't get one, if he got kicked out of one Airbnb, he was supposed to get another one. Fuck a hotel. Now we going to book another one tonight. Or we hitting this show, we the fuck on the road to go the fuck back home. We ain't stand up in this bitch and we ain't got no Airbnb. Fuck that. He wasn't to get booked in and get ambushed. Ain't no coming back. You know what I mean? And for what? So it's just, man, You gotta take every day like it's your last, bro. Cause you never know. And acquire and acquire and accomplishments as much as you can in this life form before it reset. That's why I told him, man, nah, this ain't gonna be my last one. I done have 4 of them already. I'm gonna open some more. I'm gonna open these motherfuckers until I can't no more. No matter what it may be. I'm gonna just keep doing it. I got the formula now. You can't stop me. So yeah, but that's it. That's it in the whole, man. Um, if I was one of the artists that happened, I'm looking at that like that's an excellent moment right there for me because now I can step now with all these different outlets. See, when you was there, you was supposed to understand and learn the business. Now with all these other outlets, being able to distribute it and upload and just stream it, be able to mix and master your own records. They got machines and shit that you can pay online now to do that shit. So you can submit, distribute your own music. Then, with you being tied to him and that brand and the major, you can get yourself hot, and then the major will come back and fuck with you again. Like, hold up, okay, well, they ain't in the picture no more. What you talking about doing? So if I was them, I would take this. That's the best move for them because it's so much independent ways to get paid off of music now that with him or her being signed to them companies, you take that, apply that into what you do, come up with your name and your company, get the paperwork up under that, and get yourself hot. Feel me? Boom. Now you you go and you start paying the niggas for the features, and now getting the records mastered and all that, and get your publishing together, get your writing credits together, feel me, and go from that to boom. Now you on your own, you doing your own thing, That's how you do it. Definitely, it was definitely not a lose. Definitely not a lose. Definitely not a lose. So definitely a win because, like I said, you gonna get the interviews. That's gonna help you get your bread up to be able to fund your career on your own for a minute. Charge for the interviews on which, you know what I'm saying? It's up to you to divulge what you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can always decline the question. Get your bread up, boom. Now you start the network, boom. Feel what I'm saying? Sit down with some of these podcasts, boom, get your face out there, drop them off new records. Let them break new records with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving niggas a formula. They want it, they want it. You break new records with them. See, this is what niggas don't understand. The podcast is not going to be as big as the radio channels, but you can use them just as well. As long as you own your own music, if you give them the permission to play that record on whatever platform you own, every time that record is fucking watched, that's a sale. You understand me? That's a sale. So start taking the records to the podcast, motherfuckers. Let them break the record. Let you talk about it, how y'all came up with the process and the tools to make this. Boom. Now they fuck around and go get 92, we'll say 200,000 views. That's 200,000 sales. Feel me? Can't get y'all the game, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a whole virtual tour where for this next album to where we perform and you pull right up and watch the show from your crib, but it's gonna be in every country. Yeah, stream, yeah, but you're gonna be able to tune in every which one. You don't even gotta show up. You don't even like they got it to where you don't even got. You can just do private events, release your own music under your own, so it's like a show. Motherfuckers at the privacy of your crib. Nah, it ain't nothing like being there, meet one on one and in person and all that. That's cool, but you can still do that. Motherfuckers still tap in. You get one on one interviews, sit down, go directly live with them. You know what I'm saying? Talking to them directly, shit like that. And them gets also counted as sales. I can't give y'all the game, man. I own a record company, so I can't give y'all the game, but you know, I can't give y'all all of it. You know what I'm saying? But everything I'm told y'all, I done told my artists too. So it's not like I'm not withholding nothing from them. You know what I mean? So yeah. You know, I had my lawyers come to me a few times to say, man, why you just don't bring investors in into the record company? I said, because once I open it up to a blue chip stock, now people can come in and buy shares of the company. Now I got a collective board. Something don't go right, project go bad, they want to pull out. They can actually put together, as long as the only way it can stop is if I maintain the majority of the shares, which I would be a fool not to. But if it was even shared pieces, they can vote me out. And I'll be an employee of my own company I built. If you think I'm lying, you'd look into that. Motherfuckers will build a company and then get voted out and become an employee. Why? Because it's a blue chip stock, which means you got other investors, you got other interests that's into the company. They might want to pull it in a whole nother direction. And if you can't get enough votes on your side, you might hold 60%. Now, if it's a 60-40, they can never, you will get the final say so. But eventually, just like any board, you got to have an election. So eventually, you're not going to own 60% of the company. Believe that. It's not going to happen. They're going to buy you out one way or another. That's why a lot of people sell their companies before they become employees at the one they built. So they say, well, I build them and sell them. I build a company up and then sell it. Because once you build it up so far, the government is going to force you to put stock into that company to where you have to have outside investors. Got to. That's part of the American economy. That's part of the 1%. Once the company becomes so big, you have to put it on the market. You cannot own 100% of it once it gets so big. You know what I'm saying? Once the number of money is coming in, there's nothing you can do. You physically have to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, some of that, man. You know, they say I should get classes on this shit. I told them, man, for what? I read. I just read on the shit because I was doing it. And I knew motherfuckers weren't going to tell me the truth. And I'm going to tell you, the motherfuckers with the briefcases and the suits, them the real gangsters. Legitimate business, this shit here, let me show you something. This shit right here, is what the real gangsters is. Not this shit over there in the middle of the street over there. Not that shit. Not this street shit. Nah. That shit. This shit right here That business shit. Them is the real gangsters. They wear the real suits. They run around this bitch, we running shit, moving and shaking. Talking about motion? These niggas knocking motion. These niggas clearing out the way. Nigga, they, for real. I'm just, fortunate enough to done see them both. I done seen the street side of business and the legal side of business. And I swear to God, the legal side is way worse. Woo-hoo! Treacherous, worse, conniving, cold-hearted, no thought, no care, no empathy, no nothing. And they stand on business. It's just business. Ooh. Cruel motherfucker. Ain't got no feelings to it. None. Coldest shit I ever seen in my life. And they stand on it's just business. Where you think that word came from? Came from the legitimate shit, not the street shit. I stand on business came from legitimate shit. That's legitimate conversations. I stand on my business. Whew. Telling you, boy. Why you think they said Rockefeller, man, died the richest man, but that motherfucker ain't have hair on his body? Yeah, go look into that. Rockefeller, yeah, died the richest motherfucker at one time. But he didn't have a piece of hair on his body. It all fell off from stress. Said he stressed himself out. He said he'd never do it. If he could do it over, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't even do half of it. He said it ain't worth their stress. And this is one of the richest motherfuckers ever lived. Tell you that. And the second richest motherfucker that ever lived said, I just reduced myself to just working 2 hours a day. Yeah. Yeah. Fact. Rockefeller hair all fell off. And when they asked him, he said from stress. This motherfucker got the most money at this time, recorded. Can't be talking about the chiefs and all that, and the Africans. They wasn't counting them then. Yeah, we know them they had more money than him, and they got all their ideas from him. We talking about what they can record from at that time. He was, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even let. You couldn't even take no stats of how much Africans was worth back then, man. You know what I'm saying? That was unheard of. He was, though. That motherfucker said he ain't have hair on his body. Stress. I said, ooh, bad motherfucker. Yeah. He was making something like $600 million a year. Whew. I was like, Puff. Puff was making $60 million a year. I wouldn't give a fuck what you did with this company, man. But that's how egotistical this motherfucker is, man. I wouldn't give two shits of what you did with this company. Just give me my $60 million. I don't give a fuck which direction you take this mother. Just give me my $60 million. And he got that shit for 13 years. Hell yeah, he was had to give up $50 million